Mi gente, ¿qué pasa? Hello, hello. Welcome. Bienvenidos to another episode, otro episodio de Hoy En Día TV. I'm your host and producer, Yessie Rodriguez. I'm going to bring onto the stage my two amazing co-hosts. We have Dr. C. Andrew, the actionist. Yes. And we have Nadine, entrepreneur, author, etc. Businesswoman too. Nadine Martin. Welcome. Bienvenidos to the stage. Yes.
Bienvenidos.
Hola. Happy Thursday with us.
You guys are glowing over there. What is going on? Y'all look great.
So do you, ma'am. So do you. Hey, we're some good-looking women here. I mean, hey.
Uh-huh. I see you.
I say this is, and I want to encourage this for a lot of women too. I'll speak for me. You all can speak for yourselves, but I know when I dress up and do my hair and makeup and put my lipstick on, I feel good. Now, I'm not saying that I don't feel good when I'm in my normal, like plain Jane state, right? But getting dressed and doing a little bit more pizzazz just gives you that extra oomph. It's like, it does. Right? What are your thoughts? Because I know that works for me. What about y'all?
Oh yeah, absolutely. When I was working from home, I don't know how people could roll out of bed, just pull their computers and stay in bed and work. I have to get dressed like I'm going to an office, put on my perfume and sit at my desk and go to work. Like if I feel great doing it.
That's good. I can relate on both ends. I can just get out of bed and get on my computer. I can be that girl. Okay. I am that girl. But no, right. But when you do get up and you do get dressed and, you do your hair, you do feel so much better. It's like, when you've been in bed all day or if you've been sick, and you're just kind of laying in bed, you're just like, I just want to get up and feel better. Sometimes taking that hot shower, you just feel so renewed, so re-energized. So it is something to getting up, to looking good, because when you look good, you feel good, and so it kind of goes mind, body, and spirit, right? So I like what you see in the mirror, you know what I'm saying? Kind of manifest it, make it happen, okay? So yeah, but I can be both, Nick. I can be.
Yeah.
No, I feel you, sis. I agree. Like, when I'm not on camera here, and doing other stuff, like I'm plain Jane most of the time, but I'm plain Jane to an extent where I still like to, put my perfume on and put my face cream because I want to make sure, anti-aging has to happen all the time. I'm not trying to get no wrinkles at all. So things like that to self-care or self-protect yourself. And I know you often, based on the past guests, you periodically go to the spa and do like the IV therapies, right? You take care of yourself. Nadine, you've mentioned before that you do your facials at home. So you do things to take care of yourself, to feel good. And I feel like a lot of people don't do that for whatever reason. And they blame it on, I don't have time and this and that. But you'll make time for things you want to do, especially if you got to take care of yourself, because you got to take care of you.
I got to make time to go to this gym so I could lose this baby fat off of my face, and I'm not even a baby.
You're so funny, sis. But no, guess what? I have something for you, because I don't have time to go to the gym. But guess what? I do have time for. I subscribe to YouTube. It's only like $15 a month. They have Jalad. They have Billy Blank's Tybo. They have a bunch of other couples working out. And guess what? I invested $30 in some dumbbells. So I do dumbbells at the house. I'd be like jumping jacks, old school. You got to make it work.
Honey, I have a whole gym in my garage, honey child. Don't.
Okay, well then, ma'am, come. Okay, we gotta talk.
Sometimes, it's just, I don't know. I don't want to say the D word, but sometimes, I just have to ask God to give me the strength.
Okay, I respect
It's
that.
motivation.
Right.
And it's happening a lot though. Like, it's the motivation, right? Just to get up to do it, to make it happen. Some people are addicted to working out. That could be good and that could be bad. Too much of anything, right, is bad. But some people are not. And I get it, Nadine, because I'm the same way. It's just like
But
getting that motivation to walk. So today, right? I've been like this past week, I've just been kind of home chilling, doing my stuff on the computer. I hate being on the computer so much. I really do. I'm a get up, move around, make it happen kind of girl. But a lot of my work these days requires me being on the computer. And I'm like, right. But I got
Right.
up to go to get the mail. Right. And then I said, okay, I'm gonna walk to this mailbox and I'm gonna walk around the block. Right. And then I was like, well, I'm going to take a shortcut, right? Because like, at least I'm walking, but I'm going to take a shortcut. And then as I started to walk, I started to actually feel a little bit more kind of energized. And so I took the long route and I walked around 2 blocks instead of 1. Right. Today, I didn't do a whole lot, but I did it. There is an app that you can, a lot of these apps, you can have some free things on them, but you can also, for all the premium stuff, you can pay for that. But there's one called 7-minute workout, and it's literally 7 minutes. And I'm like, we can do stuff in 7 minutes. And you just go on there, it's on your phone, and you can just do a full body workout or just isolate to your core or your glutes or whatever the case may be, arm day, leg day, whatever. For 7 minutes, you can do it. Here's another tip. I'm all about multitasking, putting things that I can do together that will cause productivity. Because a lot of times people, they multitask, but they're really not productive. So like when I'm folding my laundry, check out when I'm folding my laundry, I'm doing calf raises, I'm doing side leg lifts, I'm doing extension leg lifts. You know what I'm saying? You too, yes. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing squats. You know what I'm saying? And I get an even, tone like on each side. I'm always doing stuff. When I'm at there, rinsing off the dishes, doing the dishes, I'm doing the same stuff. When I'm brushing my teeth, I get it in. I'm always trying to be active, right? Even when I
Uh-huh.
take like a little ice stream breaks and stuff like that, I might run down the stairs and then run back up the stairs real fast. Just something, right? To be able to try to get my heart muscles moving and grooving. Also, here's another little tip, y'all. When you're going up and down your stairs, right? I have a 2-story home. So when I'm going up that first flight of stairs, I'm walking up the stairs laterally, meaning sideways, okay? Because I'm activating different muscle groups. Then when I go up to the second flight of stairs, I turn and then I walk to the others. You see what I'm saying? Walking down the stairs backwards. Now I recommend that you hold on to your banisters, okay? Hold on to your railings, your hand railings, but walking down backwards, right? Because that can help with your proprioception and your balance, okay? And then it's activating your hamstring muscles. So there's things that you can do around your house when you're putting on your makeup, Nadine. You're getting that face beat. You know what I'm saying? You can do butt squeezes. You're just standing in the mirror. You're just squeezing the butt muscles. That's the isometric exercise, right? To be able to strengthen and tone your glutes. That's going to get your glute men and the medius, right? So there are things that we can do we can be working out every single minute. Right now, sitting on this TV show, right? Doing glute squeezes. Everybody do a glute squeeze for me. Nobody knows you're doing it, but you know you're doing it and you can feel it, right? You see what I'm saying? You can make it happen. You're sitting right here. You can be like crunching your toes and relaxing your toes, getting all that tension out of your feet. Nobody knows you're doing this, but you do. You're working out. You're burning calories. You're burning energy, right? All of those things, right? You can make it happen. Even right here, right now, y'all, taking your heels, right? The heel of your feet and digging them into the carpet. That's activating your hamstring muscle, okay? An isometric contraction. No one here, all the audience members, they don't know that you're working out while you're on the show working and doing your job, but you're getting a good workout. So we can all get a workout. So I'm motivating you, sis, okay? It's going to be a challenge for you to get up, walk around your block, walk around your house. You have a huge yard, right? That fits this. So you, in the privacy of your own backyard, you can run around that backyard, run around that house. You know what I'm saying? Make it happen. So we just got to get motivated. And here's the thing. I was reading something today. It was with Gregory Dickow, and he is a pastor. And it was just a little short 20-minute video that he had on today. But he was talking about making a decision, right? You just got to make the decision. Now, he was talking about making the decisions in reference to Christ, just believing Christ. Like, I believe that Jesus is real. I believe that my body is a temple. I believe it. And so you just make a decision to believe it, and you turn off the noise in your mind. And it was so powerful for me in that moment, because I was like, once we begin to make decisions about our life, about whatever it is that we're going to believe, you turn off the other noise. You shut off the voices, because you just say, I'm going to be fit, and I choose to work out. And there's just nothing else. That's just it. I just believe it. I'm going to do it. You make the decision, and then you stick to it, and you execute. That's it. So every time when you get to be like, I don't feel like it, I already made a decision in my mind that this is not an option. I'm going to do it. And so you push yourself, because who are you in competition with? You. So beat yourself every single day, meaning win. Be the better Nadine the next day, and the next day, and the next day, and so on and so forth. So I hope that helps, right? That's a whole little sermon for you, Nadine, okay? For the viewers out there across America, right? And beyond. Make the decision and just stick to it. Yeah.
Listen, it's not like I can't, because I get up and I work out sometimes, but I just need to be consistent. Last year I was killing it in the gym, and I don't know what happened this year. But I will get back to it, though. I promise you that I will. And it's not like I'm obese. I'm not. I just need this weight to come off my face.
Sis, I will say this. This is a joke time, so we'll take it as a joke. But when you said the D, my mind went to the gutter.
Oh my God! I wasn't even talking about.
You needed that good laugh, didn't you? Yeah. Jesus. But I agree with Cece though, because I do that when I brush my teeth. I do like the leg lunges, the side lunges. I be doing the squats. When I go up the stairs, I do like the double stairs. So I like do 2, 4, 6, and then I run back down.
Squeeze my stomach.
And then what I do is I get like in a cat position on the stairs, and then I do like the leg lifts, like 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. Yeah, I do all that. Yep. So I feel you, sis. I do the same thing. So that's good to know that I'm not the only one, because sometimes I look at myself and I evaluate. And I'm like, hey, am I the only one doing this?
No, that's so good. And it's so smart. I'm so proud of you, because I know there's other moms out there, you're busy, and people with busy lives. Nadine, you're everything. You're an entrepreneur. You're everything. And you have busy lives. But I'm telling you, when you're standing in line waiting to get that cafe, do calf raises. I have seen this guy. He was in line standing, and I admired him so much because he was working out while he was standing in that line. I was just like, good on you, brother. Like, way to go. He was like, we got to get it in. We got to make it happen. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, by any and every means necessary, we're going to make it happen. And another thing that might help out, Nadine, and it might also help some other people too, sleep in your PT gear. Now, I know some of you, if you have your little sexy night going on with, that's all right. But if you're going to be like, hey, there's going to be no excuse, I will sleep in my t-shirt and my shorts, my workout gear that I'm going to wear, to work out in the next day. And I'll have my shoes right by the door. So that way, when I wake up, I'm already dressed to work out. You see what I'm saying? So it's helping me to eliminate.
When I was working out consistently last year, I just used to take it out the night before and put it down and just, pick it up in the morning. I know what to do. I do. So let's not beat me down so much. Like, let's
No. This is encouraging.
We're not beating you down, girl, at all. If anything, this is good food for thought for the audience and listeners, because a lot of people may not even be thinking about this. So we're using you as a vessel to help our people.
Oh, no, honey, because Thanksgiving is coming and Christmas is coming. I'm not eating anything for Thanksgiving and Christmas. So y'all better not invite me anywhere.
Man, you better not starve yourself. You better eat, girl. Girl, eat. It's okay. But hey, we're going to take a quick pause break. We're going to do a sponsor in light of Dr. Cece giving all that food for thought. And we're going to remind you to hydrate your skin with the actual, wait, hold on. It's Nadine's body butter. So make sure to hydrate your skin. So after you work out, after you take a shower, Hydrate your skin with Nadine's body butter. We'll be right back with this quick commercial break.
A bold builder of people, purpose, and platforms, Girls with Gigs helps high performers and those desiring to achieve more shift mindsets and activate purpose. Whether it's career or leadership development, personal branding, or knowing your worth. In the job market, transformation has never been closer because this is where purpose meets action and dreams become destiny. Book your free consultation today at www.girlswithgigs.com.
From the moment that I put this Cab Zenza on my skin, it feels most amazing. As you can see, it has your skin glistening, it's moisturizing, and it's very, 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 very yummy. You too should get Cab Zenza.
Luxurious body butters.
Yes, luxurious body butters. And Nadine, you got a shout out from Masika McCormick. Thank you for your comment. Her body butter is great, and I love it. So, hey, we have a viewer vouching for Nadine's body butter. I've tried it. Cece's tried it. We've tried it, and it's quality. So go ahead.
Yes, it is. Thank you, Masika, for wearing my body butters. That's one of my friends right there. And
Shout out to Masika. Yes.
Yes. Yeah, we actually need to get Masika on the show because she's an actor, producer as well. So yeah, remember her name right there. So we're gonna get her on one of these days.
So Miss McCormick, if you're interested, reach out to Nadine and we will get you on the schedule. Okay. So just, hey, all it is just coordinating that. We'll get you on the schedule and you'll be a guest on Hoy En Día TV. And no, for those who don't know, I'm going to remind you all that Hoy En Día TV is actually a worldwide platform. So not only can you watch us on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube, you can also listen to us in a lot of other places. And I'm actually going to go to my website, yessirodriguez.com. There is a tab specifically for Hoy En Día because I have to remember myself, like all the different locations that you can find us. So when you go on the yessirodriguez.com, select Hoy En Día on the upper left part, drop down, you're going to see a beautiful list of locations that you can find us and listen to us and watch us. RSS, Spotify, Amazon Music, Facebook, Apple Podcasts, Pandora, Instagram, iHeartRadio, Podcast Addicts, Podcast Index, Podverse, Deezer, Fountain, True Fans, YouTube, Raphonic, and I'm sure there's plenty other more that I probably don't know of, but those are the ones that I do know of. But nevertheless, hey, you can find us, you can listen to us, whether you're on the gym, going out for a walk, working out at home, doing the dishes, you're cooking, you're cleaning. Listen to Hoy En Día TV because we have the food for thought. We are here to inspire, motivate, educate, enlighten, and entertain you, the viewer and listener, with each and every episode. And so with that, what'd you say, Nadine?
Said doing those butt squats Cece was talking about.
Hey, you got to keep the glutes firm. The buns. The buns. Now we're going to pivot over to what's happening in trending topics. And I will say my heart goes out to the people affected in Jamaica because of Hurricane Melissa. So my heart and prayers, there's a lot of families affected. So Hurricane Melissa made landfall in Jamaica as a Category 5 storm with sustained winds estimated at 185 miles per hour. Wow. Can you imagine that? So let's put this into perspective, right? Because I know when I go to like Carowinds, for example, those roller coasters, like the fastest one that I know, I've read that it goes like 175 miles an hour. And I know how I feel when I'm in that roller coaster. So 185 miles an hour, that's wow.
Listen, no pun intended, but anybody that names Melissa, that's gonna be my enemy. I can't, because I can't believe Melissa tore my island up like that. Oh my God, I was devastated when I couldn't hear from like my family. You know, it really sucked, and I just feel it. Like I don't even want to go on social media to look at those videos. I mean, I posted a few of them, but like it's heart wrenching. Just like some roads disappeared. I watched the video today, and there was a bus that was in somebody's yard, covered with dirt. You could put your foot. They could walk on the bus. All the dirt from the road, and there were like water from the sea. I don't know if that was in Montego Bay or Ocho Rios, but there were water. The sea came in to the resort, and there were sharks swimming around in front of the resort. Crazy.
Whew, yeah, that's scary. That's scary, sis. I saw the video about the sharks, and my heart goes out to those people because even if you know how to swim, like you have to risk your life because there's sharks in the water. So it's like, what do you do? How do you? I want to understand and learn how do you battle a shark? Like I'm gonna have to do some research on that one because that's scary.
Mm-hmm. And then another thing I need to talk about too is
Mhm.
all those tourists out there complaining about their food and like don't they don't even know that some of those workers don't even have a home to go back to. So have some compassion. There are a bunch of people complaining about getting pastries and that's disrespectful and a whole bunch of mumbo jumbo. I was like, are you serious?
No, I agree with you, sis. They should definitely have compassion. They should have understanding, especially because they're living this situation with these people.
But
Yeah, they're in resorts,
I,
but they're with the hurricane, right? What were you gonna say?
I'm from Jamaica, so I know how Jamaicans are, and I know some of those people. They probably wouldn't care about their jobs. They would probably would, let that lady have it. But I know those people. They're nice and they're courteous, and their responses were like calm. But some people would have ripped her a new one, you know. But I know they care about their jobs, so that's why they were being cordial. But I mean, I'm not gonna say it was all of the tourists. It's just some of them that were acting crazy. There were some of them. Some of them they came and went to the resort. They were helping out after the aftermath, and they were just some of them that were just complaining. I mean, for me, I know that like I didn't even know there was a hurricane coming until like days before. So I didn't. When was that in the news? So I know like booking it. This is hurricane season. Period. So if the Caribbean doesn't get it, Florida get it, or somewhere else get it. You know what I mean? So this is hurricane season. So my thing is, I don't even want to go to Jamaica this time of the year. And if they're booking a trip, you know, are they getting from a travel agent's perspective? Did they get travel insurance because they could get their trips reimbursed on the back end? But
Ah,
some of the attitudes are showing me that they didn't opt in to get the travel protection.
nope. And this is a good example of that, right? So I echo your words. And with that in mind, I'm going to play your commercial, Nadine's Travel Oasis. We'll be right back.
Dream, explore, discover with Nadine's Travel Oasis. Your next adventure is just a booking away. From breathtaking beaches to vibrant cityscapes, we handle the details so you can make the memories. Luxury, leisure, or last-minute getaways, we've got you covered. Book today and let Nadine's Travel Oasis take you places.
So Nadine, the travel insurance that you mentioned, a lot of people take that opportunity for granted. Help us understand exactly the importance of travel insurance because I want to understand myself because I travel a lot as well. And I'm sure the viewers and listeners want to understand the benefits of it, paying the extra, what, 20, 30, 40, 50 bucks. And I guess it varies, right, on what you're booking, but paying that extra fee for the travel insurance.
Listen, I just went locally, a less than 2 hours flight to visit my mom, and I opted in and I got the traveling insurance because you never know. You could wake up late. There could be an accident. You miss your flight. That's going to give you reimbursement. That's going to cover your trip. But if you don't opt in to get the travel protection, then you're just going to have to come out the pocket and pay those fees. Perfect example. I booked a couple they were leaving from California, going to the Bahamas, and there was some sort of delay on their trip. So when they got to the Bahamas, the hotel didn't know about their delay. So what happened was when they got to the hotel in the Bahamas, they didn't have a hotel. So they called me, they called me on WhatsApp, and I was able to talk to the hotel staff and have them rebook because they opt in to get the travel protection. And that's how it works. If at all they didn't get the travel protection, they would have been coming out the pocket for a hotel. And he was going on his trip for he and his fiance. He was surprising her for her birthday. So yeah, so if you don't get travel protection, then I know at the time when you're booking the trip, you're like, oh my God, I already paid like $700, $800, $900 for the trip. I don't want to put like an extra $199 or $100 or whatever on my trip. You don't want to come out the pocket and pay that extra fee. But at the end of the day, you miss your flight, there's a natural disaster. I mean, your trip's covered. That's what the travel protection is for. And I know people, when they book their trips personally, a lot of them don't know that, but every single time you book with a travel agent, you know that we're going to tell you to get your travel protection. And if you don't get it, then we're going to have you sign paperwork saying that you declined it. Because at the end of the day, if you go on your trip and something happened, the first thing they're going to call is a travel agent. But then we're not liable. You can't come and argue with me, because guess what? You declined. And there's nothing on this earth that we could do about it. There's nothing.
I think what, you know, and I think, you know, like with insurance and stuff, because I know people's like, oh, I'm not going to get that. I'm going to save these few dollars. But when you have an experience, you know, and things get lost or the flight, you know, whatever, you're just like, oh, man, I wish I would have got it. I wish what could happen, and I think what is fair for the travel protection is if the travel protection is not used, like they say they pay for it, right? You get it, life goes lovely. There's no incidences, there's nothing. I feel, you know, I think what would be fair is that that travel protection money is then given back to, right, that family or that person, right? Because it wasn't utilized. Otherwise, I can understand where people are like, I'm a little bit ambivalent about this because nothing happened. My trip was great. And so now that's just extra money down the drain because I didn't use it. So, and I know, you know, that's like, you know, wishful thinking, but I wish, you know, they would have a clause there to say, hey, yeah, get the travel protection. If something happens, we cover you. But if not, then, you know, we can give you that money back. And I know that can affect the insurance company in a way, because by them collecting money from, you know, all of these individuals, it helps to put that cushion aside to be able to pay out the claims and things of such. But I wish it could be some kind of happy medium for that. You know, like with the car insurance, like when you do like a rental car or something like that, they always ask you, do you want the travel protection? And most people in their own insurance plans, they may have something that already automatically covers the rental car and things of that nature. But on the back end, say your insurance does cover it, but you got to file the claim, and then you risk the chance of your insurance premium going up. So it's kind of like you're stuck between a rock and a hard place, because if I get the rental insurance with the car company, then my insurance is not going to go up, but then I've just paid all of that money. But say I didn't get in an accident and nothing happened, I really feel that money should be given back to the patron. But
it's unfortunately, it's a excuse me, especially with the flights, it's a third party, right? And it's a service whether you use it or not. So the flight is not going to have anything to do with it, because once you get that travel protection, they're going to send you a link with the information for your travel protection, what's covered and all that, and it's coming from a third party. So, and that's the service that you paid for upfront. So then on the back end, they're not going to go back and give you your money. Only time they might give you your money back, and unless something happens with the flight, or the flight is canceled or whatever, then you could go and call the company and get that money reimbursed back to you.
And I think that she could be very active in the chat. I agree with her. She was saying that's something we should vote on. I agree.
Thanks for watching, Masika. But yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm telling you now, man. Excuse me. I've heard stories, so many stories, and people with attitudes, and they'll cut the way nobody ever come and scream at me, because they would never. But on the back end, I've heard stories of, the way they treat the travel agents and the way they're coming at them. But sir or ma'am, you declined. Hello, we gave you the option in the beginning, and we stressed. For me personally, especially if you're going out the country, and I don't care about the money, like as much as I need or want money right now, you could take your trip somewhere else, because I'm not booking you if you're going out the country and you decline the travel protection. Sorry if anybody from my agency is watching, but I'm not booking that trip if they're declining. I'm sorry.
Right.
I'm not.
You're protecting yourself, and that's completely understandable. I would say, in listening to both of you, a happy medium that comes to mind is that the actual flight company or airline, right, so to speak, would take the bull by the horns, and they would be the middleman. So let's say, for example, if CC had a insurance protection company for travel, then Nadine Travel Laces would obviously book everything, but then between the airline and CC, they would come up with an agreement with her company, and then they would upcharge $20-$30 because that's going to be automatically included and then that portion of it would go to CC's business. You see what I'm saying? So automatically include the travel protection versus having the option to say, hey, you can opt in or out, because you just don't know. It's kind of like you're gambling. You're like, okay, today is going to be a good trip. Well, maybe, I don't know. Automatically just embed it into the fee. So that way people, it's one of those, it is what it is things, you're protected. And that's the benefit. Just like with health insurance, right? You have it there when you need it. The good thing is that the majority of the people are, they may be healthy, but then there's a good portion that need it. So it's just one of those things where, so I would recommend just embedding that into the fee for the airline, and then between the airline and the actual insurance company, sending that money off behind the scenes. So that way the person purchasing the actual airline ticket doesn't know what's happening. There is already automatically embedded that travel protection. But that's just my thought.
Yeah. So for a perfect example, when I went to visit my mom, I paid $27 for my travel protection. And I mean, some people would say that, $27, that's a lot, but $27 could cover a lot too.
So is there like a threshold of the amount that they cover? Is it like 1,000, 2,000, 5,000? How does that work when it comes to
what I'm trying to do now? I'm trying to pull up the coverage so I could go over it with you guys to show you what's covered on the trip.
While you're pulling it up, I wanted to respond to what you said, Yessie. And I thought about that too. I'm like, you know what? Just put everything in the cost, right? I just put it all in there so I'm covered, and the cost is and the fees are going to be what they are. And that's great, because most Americans are just most people. You're just like, if you don't see like all the extra little fees and stuff, you're not going to really nitpick, or you're like, this is it. You're just going to pay it. The con to that is for those companies that don't put it all in there up front, right? They're going to now appear for their marketing strategies a lot cheaper, right? So then people are going to tend to, kind of float over and gravitate to those companies, because it's like, oh, the price over here is lower for this same trip. So why are they so high over here? Now the company can say, hey, we're just going ahead and putting all these fees in here to cover you, to make sure that you are good to go. It's kind of like being big brother, big sister, right? Or mom taking care of that kid. We're just going to make sure you're covered. Right. But then for the other company, like I said, they're like, well, we're cheaper over here, and you can opt in to have it. So it still comes back to like a compromise of just a preference for the family, really, truly, because you're still going to have those people like, hey, I just, put it in. If I don't see it, I just know this is the cost and I'm covered. Just go for it and do it. Then you're going to have those people saying, no, I don't need that. I want to opt out of this. I want to opt out of that, so on and so forth. So it's just like, it always comes back down to the preference. I too prefer, it's like, just put it all in there and just call it a day. I don't want you nickel and diming me for all of the little nooks and crannies, just put it all in one set price. I need to be covered. And if I am covered, when you say I'm covered, I need to be covered for everything. I don't need you now coming back around saying, oh no, but we don't cover that, because that's how they get you with insurance. And I believe that insurance is the biggest scam, the smartest scam since all of creation, right? Because we've had to use our insurance claims just like for our home or for our car or something, and they'll always come back, well, no, we don't cover that, or we cover up to a certain amount. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. If you're saying I'm covered, I need to be covered. Take care of me in totality. You see? So I'm getting passionate about this insurance, right? Nadine, you got those quotes?
Yeah. So, this was oh my God, I just pulled up and logged on to the site, and it pulled up all of my trips that I've taken and all the coverages that I've had.
But $27 is not bad.
So this one, it says baggage delay, $500. These are the money for the claim. Emergency medical transportation, $50,000. 24-hour hotline is included. You could call them if something happened on your trip. Travel delay, $500. Trip interruption, $350. Emergency medical, $10,000. Trip cancellation, $350.
That's for $27. You got all that. That's actually really good. Like, it's only $27, right? You're gonna probably spend that in a DoorDash order, including tip.
And I just clicked on this one. This was the trip that I took. I don't even know where I went. This was a trip that I took back in June of 2014. I just clicked on one of them because they have a list that it pulled up all of the trips that you've taken. So I just clicked on one of them. That's crazy. It's crazy. And then of course, if you go to like Jamaica or another out the country where you pay more, like $99 or $100, then of course you're gonna get more coverage. You know what I mean? You're gonna have more, right?
Yeah. And so Masika responded, she says, if they all include the insurance in one price is best for everyone, there are some people who will pay more because they may not go with certain flight companies like Spirit. I will never go with Spirit, even if they have the lowest prices with insurance.
Yeah, some airlines, a lot of people don't want to go, like Frontier and Spirit. A lot of people don't want to go to those airlines because of just the customer service sometimes sucks.
Yeah.
And by the time you pay for seats and your bags, you might as well you buy a ticket on American Airlines or Delta with all those fees. Yeah.
My husband calls them the air greyhound. They're the air greyhound. Someone else say, yeah, you're kind of right. It reminds me of being overseas and flying like, Ryanair or Alitalia or something like that. Some of them are just like the armpits of air travel. You know what I'm saying? You're just like, it's gonna be, you're just not. And with this whole air travel and all the stuff that you got to pay for, again, I'm just like, y'all, back in the day, we didn't have to pay for this stuff. So why are we paying for it today? It's not right. And these companies should be ashamed of themselves. Shame on them that they want to nickel and dime the people, right, to try to make a green buck. Like, it has to be more than just about money. You know what I'm saying? At some point, you really got to truly care for your customers. Do I want you to pay for your luggage? Do I want you to pay for your peanuts and for your drinks and all of these things? If you don't want me to pay for it, then let me bring my stuff into the airport. I know at TSA, like, you have like your drinks and stuff. You can't bring that in because they force you to buy the stuff that's inside, which is marked up. You see what I'm saying? Substantially. So you're like, I got to pay $7 for a bottle of water. That's ridiculous. It's a ripoff. And then you got to pay all these other.
And here's another thing too, because one of the most popular companies out there for the insurance is called Allyz, Allyz. And I know most of the time I book my local flights and I pay my travel protection. That's what comes on, because when I book on American, mostly that's the company that comes up for your travel protection. And on the app, this is what they have. So if you travel globally, they have on the app, they have a global doctor visit, they have a hospital finder, they have medication dictionary, they have medical translator, they have trip organizer, safety alerts, and an embassy finder. So it's a lot of information they have. So I'll tell people, make sure they don't know the importance of getting travel protection.
Absolutely. It sounds very important. And I usually get it on my end for sure. Not all the time, but lately, as I'm getting older, things are happening. Shenanigans in the world, I say. I've been getting it because I agree. You just don't know and you want to be protected, right? Especially like with me traveling with a toddler. There's a lot of important things that I travel with. And I'll be so heartbroken if my luggage that contains his stuff were to get lost or misplaced, and that would break my heart. But that's just me, though. I'm one of those moms that I like to keep like little things as sentimental. When he gets older, I'll be like, hey honey, this is what you used to wear when you were like 2 years old. That's just me.
And here's another thing too. Another thing other than the travel protection that I urge people to get is TSA protection too. Your TSA, what do you call it? Oh my God, I'm going blank. Your TSA, what do you call it? the TSA, you pay for TSA to get to TSA. I'm not saying you have to pay for global entry, but I would urge people to pay to get to TSA.
Are you talking about pre-check?
Yeah, TSA pre-check. Oh my God, my brain is farting right now. But anyway. So with the TSA pre-check, I was coming from my trip, and let me tell you, that line, I don't know if those people were going to make their flights, because I was in TSA pre-check for 10 minutes, okay? 10 minutes. So coming back, you see the line. I should have videoed. There was, a matter of fact, if you look up TSA pre-check, maybe on TikTok, you'll see somebody else made a video. That line was ridiculous. Ridiculous. Wow. And the thing is, you're paying for the year. So is it for the year or for 5 years? You get it for a long period of time. So I know that, everybody, want to squeeze that last bit of money, but I would tell people, especially if they're frequent travelers, a lot of people are like, oh, I'll just wake up early and go wait in the line. I never like lines. That just gives me a peace of mind. TSA pre-check is give me peace of mind.
And they're just longer now because they're down manpower, so the lines are extraordinarily long, these days. And then the holidays are coming up and travel. And I don't know if people really going to be traveling this year like before, just because of the furlough and all the stuff that's going on. So it'd be interesting to kind of see.
And maybe also too, few days before that, there was an incident at the Atlanta airport. So that could have been an issue as well, because I know going in, even with TSA pre-check, they were pairing up everyone 2 by 2 with the dog. So that could have been another situation right there too, why the lines were extra long, because the incident that happened a few days before that.
And I'm glad you're bringing that up, because as I'm listening to you, I'm doing some research here. And because of the whole government shutdown situation, which we're going to actually pivot over in a few minutes. Well, actually, let's pivot over now, because this will be all segue, right? The whole TSA pre-check situation, the whole investment of travel. So I did some research with regards to what airports are being affected by the government shutdown, because that's something that the government shutdown is affecting many families across the country. And so I see right here that primarily the airports being affected right now are the Newark Liberty International Airport. There's experienced delays, ground stops linked to short staff. Hollywood Burbank Airport control tower is unmanned for several hours. LAX Airport ground stops issues due to controller staffing shortage. Ronald Reagan Washington National Airport, DCA, average delays of 31 minutes have been reported. Those times vary depending on just a number of factors, right? So tips for travelers: check in with the airline before arriving at the airport for your most up-to-date flight status. So look at the delays and cancellations. I actually recently experienced a delay when traveling from Wisconsin to North Carolina. Thankfully, I didn't have anything major, but it was still a delay, right? Give yourself extra time for security screening and boarding, because you just don't know. And especially because the lines could be longer. Be prepared for those possible schedule delays, schedule changes, especially if you booked flights during the shutdown period. Consider alternate travel options or flexible booking. So this might be a good opportunity if you have it on your bucket list to go on a cross-country travel with your family. Rent that car. Right? Get in the car together. Let's go cross country and stop at different states and create memories. What's that? There was a movie back in the day, the Griswolds, right? When they did the cross country. Do with the Griswolds.
National Lampoon's Vacation, was it?
Yes. Yep, that's exactly it. That's one of my favorite. I love those, just that whole National Lampoon series, especially with the Griswolds. Do something like that. They got in the car. They were trying to go to that theme park. I mean, yeah, it didn't work out, but it was a family memory to remember, right?
There was always some drama with that family, right? It was always something.
Masika said she's from Wisconsin too. Masika, I didn't know you were from Wisconsin. Oh my God, where's my brain been?
That is so cool. What part of Wisconsin, Masika? I'm waiting for her response.
Yeah.
That is awesome. While she responds, we're going to talk a little bit more about this government shutdown here, because it is affecting a lot of people. So a lot of people, what's interesting? I'm going to be really honest with you. I came across a X post, it used to be Twitter, now it's X. And it was a senator. I think she's the senator from Massachusetts, Elizabeth something, Warren, I believe her name is. And she was quick to point the finger at President Trump for being the reason for the shutdown. But when I went, there's a senator.gov, there's like a government page where you can look at who votes on each state. She voted no for the funding. And so my response to her was, first, please stop being dishonest, because you are part of the reason why this funding is the way it is. And secondly, it's time to be honest with the people, right? And so I say that to say that us, the people, we have the power, we just don't leverage it. This is why. Because we vote these people into Senate, but a good majority of us don't even take the opportunity to vote. We're quick to vote for presidential elections and, but Senate and House of Representatives seats, they're actually, for those who don't know, they're coming up next year. I did that research too. So next year, so next election for the U.S. State House of Representatives, all 435 seats will be due for voting. So you can go out to vote Tuesday, November 3rd, 2026. The next regular election for the U.S. Senate is also on Tuesday, November 3rd, when approximately 35 of those seats are up for election. A lot of people don't understand how this government system works. The bills and funding and all that goes through the Senate House first. The Senates need to vote first, right? And then from there, it gets passed on. But right now, that's the issue. The Senates are not meeting eye to eye. But this is why, because we need to change these people. If they're not working for you as a people, it is time for you to leverage that voting right. Stop waiting for the presidential elections. The president doesn't have all the control. I'm sorry. This is a rude awakening today on October 30th, 2025. Stop blaming the president. It is the Senate that represents your state that has that voting power. But you have the power to elect those people in seats, and the majority chooses not to. When I looked at the statistics of what people actually go out to these voting, very low. So I said a mouthful. I'm going to leave it. I'm going to say Cece or Nadine. Do you all have anything to say?
I'm not into politics. I don't speak it, so no.
I love it. This is the first time I've ever heard that, but I love it. And you are spot on, my friend. Okay. I am over Republicans. I am over Democrats. I am over all of these political parties because they are all speaking crap right now. Literally, they are all a bunch of big babies, wimps that will not put on their big girl panties and big boy underwear, right? To make a decision. Everybody's pointing the finger at the next. We, the American people, are sick and tired of it. Y'all, we got to come together as a people, as a united force. And you know what speaks volumes is when we stay home and keep our money in our pocketbooks. When we're not stimulating the economy, when we don't go out and purchase that gas or buy those groceries. Because guess what? If we're not spending the dollars, the economy can't move, baby. It can't move. So we, the American people, got to stand up, got to wake up and say, even though we're furloughed and people don't even have money right now, for the other people that are working, for the other people that are getting a paycheck, let's sisters and brothers in arms, and let's not go anywhere to buy anything because money talks. And then the other thing, like you said, Yessie, let's get to the polls on next year. And if they can't get it right, we vote them out. Some of them have been in there since the beginning of time. Okay, it's time for fresh faces, fresh ideas, okay? You know what I'm saying? They are antiquated with their ideas and with their thinking, and it's time for them to go on both platforms, okay? This is the united or the supposed United States of America, and we need to behave as Americans. We are a classy people with decorum, people that care about each other, supposedly. But right now, the leadership, the supposed leadership that we have in this country is not behaving as citizens that care about other citizens. Stop blaming each other because they are all at blame here. Every last single one of them. And we, the American people, are suffering. I wish for just a moment in time that we could just switch seats with all of the people that are in Congress and they could live one day in the life, right? Without food, without water, without shelter. Get out there and feel what the American people are feeling because we are fed up and enough is enough. Look, if you can't make the decision, bring me in office. I can make a decision for you. Okay, we can get things on track because it's not that hard. It's not that hard. Everybody right now is being prideful, and pride will kill. Pride will bring about destruction, and you all are destroying the American people, and we are sick of it. We are sick of it, and it needs to stop. Grow up, grow a pair. Okay, and make some decisions. Come together as people and stop blaming each other. All right, I'm done preaching. Okay, but we need to get it together, America. Get it together and get it together like yesterday.
The only thing that I'll say is that they will do and say anything to get your votes, to get them in office, and when they're there, yeah.
So you know what's interesting, and Cece, well said. Like, Like if you were to run for Senate, I will vote for you today, ma'am. I would vote for
Yes,
Dr.
Dr.
CC for Senate.
CC. Yes, let's go, honey.
But that's the thing. I agree. We need new, fresh faces. These people, like you said, beginning of time, they're still in their old mentality. This is 2025, people. Things have changed a lot, right? And respectfully speaking, but at the same time, if you're sitting in a Senate seat, in a house seat, and you're not thinking about the best interest of the people who voted for you or elected you, now mind you, I agree. Us as people, we need to do better with voting. Like I will admit that I haven't gone out to vote. So guess what? I'm going to be voting next year when those seats come up. I need to do better myself, and I'm admitting that. But you all, I want to hold you all accountable too, because this impacts everyone. Not just me, not just Nadine, not just Cece. This impacts the whole world. But the way we can see change is not by complaining, but by coming together and voting for the right people that we want to see represent us and our voices.
But here's the thing, Yessie. So even if they have one person that go into Senate with common sense, sometimes they have to take a vote, and the majority is probably going to manipulate them and turn their votes. So it's not only one person. You know what I mean? It's just like being on a juror that one could say no, then the others say yes, and before you know it, they're going to manipulate their answers. You know what I mean? So,
and that's the thing. We
how
got to
can you
get
have so many people in Senate and then they can't come to one conclusive decision? How I'm not understanding. I mean,
that's the thing. We got to get people when because this is servanthood, right? These people, these are office and seats of serving the people, right? Be that servant leader. I don't see anybody here right now being a servant leader. I'm not going to say all of them because most of them, okay? I don't see the servant leadership here. I really don't see it, because the servant leader, right? They would literally take off their shirts and give it to another person that's in need. And nobody, in Congress right now is doing that. Nobody's doing that. You see what I'm saying? They're just saying, let the people suffer. We don't care. But then they want to get in front of the cameras and say, we're doing this. And the Republicans, naughty, naughty, naughty. And the Democrats, naughty, naughty, naughty. Stop it. Grow up. Stop being a 2-year-old. 2-year-olds actually behave better. The disrespect is just so real in this country, and it's from every angle, and it makes us look bad as Americans to the entire world. We want people that have integrity. We want people who are going to do what they say they're going to do and walk it out. Talk the talk and walk the walk. Even when your back's against the wall, even when those sharks come in to try to manipulate you, you got to say no. This is what I stand for. This is what the American people elected me for. And you let those people know that. You see what I'm saying? There's backdoor deals being done all the time. People are leveraging things all the time. But where are we going to get those real, true, honest people, right? The people that will not be moved, the people that will stand in the integrity and the truth above all things, right? Because they're not here to make a bottom dollar, but they are here to serve the people. So we say, serve us. We want to come to the table. We want to eat too, right? Right now, there's no food on our table. We're literally getting the crumbs, right? And the crumbs are drying up. So, hey, look, America, do your job. The people are hurting. Children are hungry. People are dying. We're trying to support our families. Crime is increasing. When you can't feed your family, what do you think is going to happen? People are going to start stealing from other people to try to feed their families. It will get bad, y'all. And we know that the whole story is not being told in mainstream media. It's not. It's those stories that you're finding offline and in the smaller, news stations and things of that nature. It's time to wake up.
Yeah, so I don't know if you guys seen the videos going around on TikTok. It's all over social media. Starting tomorrow, well, actually not tomorrow, November 1st or whenever this happened, they said that a lot of people are planning to rob single mothers coming out of the supermarket. Did you see that video?
I heard of it, sis. I heard of these videos, but I'm just really flabbergasted about the whole notion. Like, first of all, why would you rob a single mother that's trying to feed her child? Like, I would recommend that you get a mental health check for even having that thought. That's my first. Whoever's listening, and if you have this thought. Secondly, why would you rob anybody in general, especially us hardworking Americans who who actually put money into the pot for people to be able to get the SNAP benefits and WIC and all the extra stuff. Because of us is why these benefits exist, because we are taxpayers, right? We pay taxes that get then divided into the people who need it, which is completely understandable. But why would you want to affect anybody in general? Like, I'm really concerned that anybody is thinking this way. And again, if you are a person that's thinking this way, and if you're watching or listening right now, please like schedule your psychological eval like today, because you need to have mental health check. And I'm just
everybody
shame
needs
on
to go. Everybody needs to go grocery shopping tonight or tomorrow, because anybody come up on me in the supermarket, they're gonna regret it. I know that much. Because I'm gonna start carrying.
Okay, because we always walk. Hey, you don't want that kind of heat. You don't want them kind of problems. I promise you. You don't want that kind of heat. Okay.
Especially we got some military vets here, and I could just call my sis like, yo, we gotta handle this real quick.
Yeah, I was looking into in the comment that Masika was saying about Jasmine Crockett on her feed, on the feed. And I saw somebody posted on TikTok under a video somebody had posted about her saying, get that bee. And it was a white person. Get that bee out office. Get her out. Get her out. Get her out. See, somebody trying to do good and everybody want her out.
The thinking is warped, y'all. We have drank the Kool-Aid for far too long. And the thinking is warped. And it just seems like the brain cells of people is just dying and dying and dying. And we just, you need to go and do the research for yourself. Stop believing everything that you see. Everything that you see is not as it appears to be, right? Even in your mirror, like you're driving your car in your little sidearm mirror, it says, things are closer than they appear. But when you look in that mirror, you're like, oh, it's really close, but is it really though? You know what I'm saying? Right. So we have this whole fear mentality, which is truly just false evidence appearing real. So look behind the smoke screens. Be like Dorothy on The Wizard of Oz, okay? Seeing the Great Oz. And when you pull the curtain, there's just this little guy, right? Just with all the bells and the whistles, making all the noise and stuff. And you're like, dude, you have no power, no real power. The power starts with you, from within and from on high, praise God. You know what I'm saying? So we need to really get a grip. We need to go back to the beginning, right? We need to go back to the beginning, because we think that we're moving so far along in this world in 2025. And y'all, we are regressing. We are regressing. We are regressing as a people, as a nation, as a country, right? Just to have common compassion and courtesy and kindness, to our fellow human being. We are regressing. Our hearts are waxing and waning cold, as the good word says that it would. And we're seeing the evidence of it day to day. People are not helping people. And when you do want to really try and go and help somebody, you're fearful, because you don't know if you're not going to be hurt in the process. We got to get it together as a human race.
Absolutely.
Around the globe.
There's so many things and topics that we could talk about. I know we only have a short segment, but I know that Yessie's probably tired of me, because every time I see something, I'm putting it in the group like, Yessie, look at this video. Like, I don't know if you look at the one on Instagram, but the video where they're putting in vaccine into the food. Did you see that?
Yeah, there's been suspicions of that.
And that's nothing new under the sun.
Right.
They came up with that stuff years ago. There's nothing new under the sun. And the fact of the matter is the fact that you can put it in the food. They probably are putting it in the food. But where's Kennedy, right? He said he was going to be out here doing all this stuff. He got elected. You're elected, man. What are you doing? Okay, the USDA, okay, what I'm saying? The FDA, all of that. What? Hello. You were very talkative in the beginning when you were running. What are you doing for the American people? We don't want vaccines in our food. Don't do it. Remember how our body, our choice? I choose not to have that stuff put in my food. They call it microdosing. Well, you don't know what kind of my health is, right? And so you giving me that, you don't know how that's going to affect me. And now I'm being sick with signs and symptoms, and I don't know where it's come from, because you're poisoning my food. Let me choose.
They don't care.
All right.
They don't care, because guess what? Population. They're reducing the population, so they don't care. That's the whole purpose. That is the whole purpose. They're going to put it in the food so that they could, KILL the people. They do not care. They said they're putting it in lettuce, in tomatoes, and a whole bunch of other things. Like, before you know it, like I said in one of the other podcasts, I'm just gonna go start eating grass. And then of course, yes, it was like I can't because they put in all this stuff and fertilizer and all this stuff.
Pesticides.
Yeah, pesticides. But either way, I'm gonna die regardless. So I'll just eat air. Oh no, never mind. I can't even eat air because they're spraying stuff in the air.
You are on it today, girl. You are funny. I love it. Yes, but you're speaking truth, though. You're speaking the truth, but I mean that's why we're laughing because you're speaking the truth.
I can't even eat grass, like.
And I know people are afraid to come on platforms to speak out loud because, once you have that digital footprint, it's out there and people will take little segments, even from these shows that we do, and they'll piece things. Oh, they said this and it's like, no, but fear will not rule my life. Fear will not rule my life. Okay. Because fear does not come from God Almighty. He tells us very, very plainly, do not fear. Nor be dismayed, right? Because he is with us. And so at the end of the day, I know all the powers that be here in this natural realm, right? I think they got all the power, think they have all the money and all the control. Y'all, they don't. There is a God that sits high and looks low, and he is ultimately in control of every single thing. And I know there are people out there who say, well, why does he let bad things happen to good people? And he should shut these people down and so on and so forth. Well, if God did that, then he would be just like them. God is not here to create robots. He has given mankind free will to make good choices. We know right from wrong and we know bad from good because he put it in us in the very beginning of time. So we have it in us. It's in our DNA. It's ingrained right here, okay? It flows all through us, all right? So we know good from bad and we know right from wrong. And we need to begin to stand up and have the courage to say no. Enough is enough and no thank you, please. Right,
exactly.
Please and no, thank you. Right,
I'm about to say no to Masika because we're not about to catch a charge running up to the governor's house in Georgia.
But she makes a good point though. So I will say this: she must have read my mind though, because I was making my way. I was pivoting over to that because there is a way to contact your senator and your representative. So U.S. citizens and residents can write, call, or meet with their members of Congress. The communications do matter. Staffers tally every message and brief lawmakers weekly on the most mentioned topics. So how to go about that? So how to contact them? Find your members under the congress.gov members, find your member. I actually already linked it in the chat here for you all to see. And I'm going to pull it up here. It was earlier. But this is an opportunity for you all to find who your representatives are in your state. Also, call them. There's phone numbers. Call the U.S. Capitol switchboard at 202-224-3121. Again, 202-224-3121 and ask to be connected to your state representative or senator office. Also, email or form. Most offices prefer you use the web form so that they can track all the different messages based on your zip code. And then from there, share your concerns. Say, hey, my name is so-and-so. I'm reaching out because of this and that. Whatever it is that your concerns are, feel free to say it because that's why they are voted in office for, right? To listen to our concerns and help us find these solutions. And I definitely encourage you all to go in there and find your representative, email, call, write, and let them know how you feel about this whole government shutdown. More people need to come together. We need to unite as people. Yeah, I get that you want to go and march and all that. And I'm not frowning down on those people, but that situation can get a little risky, especially if we get the National Guard involved. You're not only putting your family, yourself in danger, especially whoever you're out there with, right? But at least this way it's safe. You can write, you can call, you can email, and you don't have to put yourself in harm's way. Because you just don't know when you're marching with these other people, you just don't know what can happen. And that's dangerous to me. I mean, that's just my point of view. But what are your thoughts about that?
Yeah, you made a valid point. Yeah, you make a valid point because as previously as a Navy recruiter, there were a lot of people, especially coming into the Navy, and there were certain instances where some of the recruits, if there's some certain things going on and they can't get approved for certain things, or not just that, little instances, they write their congressman and they get a letter, write them back, and they get an approval right away. So, I mean, the congressman, that's what, like Cece said, that's what they're there for. You write your congressman, and I mean, if enough people do it, you never know what could happen.
Absolutely. And I agree with Yessie and Nadine. Yeah, it's, I'm telling you, you don't want to, sometimes we have to do hard things in life. And this is where you have to kind of draw that line in the sand and say, who am I as a person? Right? Forget about being an American, but just who am I as a person? Who am I as a child of the Most High? Who am I, right, at the end of the day? How have I been raised? What do I believe? These types of things. And for those people who believe in the greater good, that believe that I should treat my man, my fellow man with humanness, right? Human kindness and compassion and love, right? Because that's one of the commandments, even, is to love your neighbor as you love yourself. And I have to ask our government, are you loving your neighbor as you're loving yourself, right? And I believe fair is fair for those people that have been furloughed without pay when they do begin to work again, because they will begin to work again, right? We're praying because prayer will break through some of these walls, okay? They should get back pay for the time that they were off, right? Because they would have been there working and collecting a paycheck. Right is right and fair is fair. There is money to be given. Now, I know a lot of people say, hey, the billionaires and these trillionaires, they can go and they can give money, and they can. And I feel like, maybe they should. But at the end of the day, these people earn their money too. So they have the right to do with the money what they so choose. But if you love the American people and you want to support the American people, then how about we write a check to these families, right, that are being furloughed? Because we talked about this the last time, right? They can carry some of the load. There is no reason. Look, we have enough money in this country to support all of our citizens. It's just the question is, do we want to? And people don't want to. So I urge every American citizen out there, every person that's been furloughed, every person that's still working, right? The best way to hit them hard and in their guts is to not spend your American dollars. Don't go to the ball games. Don't go to the grocery stores. Don't go and get the gas. Get what you need right now and figure out a way. Y'all, we got to get to a point to where we figure out a way to maximize the little that we have. We can't depend on our government to save us. No one is coming to save you but Jesus Christ. He already did that, okay? No one else is coming to save you. So now we got to think. We got to think and we got to act in the right way. Right. And that's not by hurting people. That's not by stealing from others. It's none of that stuff. Right. But it's by keeping your hard-earned dollars in your pocket. Right. And not spending it in these other places. And when those stocks start to plummet because the money's not going anywhere, no one's spending, America will wake up. Somebody will make a move, because then it's going to affect their pocketbooks as well.
Here's another thing too, and going back, and I know you made a valid point, Cece, on that, but going back to the food stamps, right? I don't know if you guys seen that, but they have a demographic that's based off of ethnicity. Did you guys see that? So at the top they have white, then they have black, then number 3 Mexican, and I'm going in the order: white, black, Mexican, German, Irish, Caribbean, English, Asian, Puerto Rican, Italian, Dominican, French, Polish, Cuban, Scottish, Chinese, Arab, European, Norwegian, Salvadorian, Dutch, Swedish, Filipino, Vietnamese, Haitian, Guatemalan, Russian, Jamaican, Ukrainian, Honduran, Colombian, Korean, and Portuguese. That's the demographic by ethnicity of people who has a food stamp.
So it sounds like whites are the most that are in need of the food stamp from what you're reading. Wow. You know what? Come to think of it, was that something you shared? You shared with us. So I think I did see that. So thank you for refreshing me. I had forgotten about it briefly. But yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Cece. What were you going to say?
Yeah, but they'll lead you to believe that it's the minorities, right? They'll lead you to believe that. But when you go and look at the stats, and again, y'all, with statistics and all of the information can be not diverged is not the word, but all the information can be manipulated for it to prove or show what they're trying to survey. You see what I'm saying? So you got to keep that in mind as well. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of the statistical data that we get, it's all biased. How can it not be? How can it not be?
And I mean, I know that there are legitimate people who really needs it. I've never used food stamp a day in my life, but that doesn't make me better than anybody that uses it or whatever. You know,
Right.
based off my military, my income, whatever, they wouldn't approve me anyway. But I mean, but some people, a lot of people deserve it, while a lot of people don't, because there was a lady on TikTok that was going around and boasting and saying that she purposely go and have all these kids and she's using it for this and that. So those are the people who should really get it taken away. The one that's not using it for the right reasons. What about the people that are out here getting grape and all these other things and molested at home and all these other? There's so many. I don't know, this country. I don't know. It's crazy. There's so many we could speak on about this topic, but it's just it's ridiculous.
Yeah,
It's
no,
like
and
the
I feel
one bad apple
To take that out of babies' mouths and newborn babies and just children. Period. That's like heart wrenching. And when that happened, like they don't have any compassion. If the shoe is in the other foot, what would they do? I mean, they would have been crying. So just like Cece said, give them one day in the people's shoes and see how they'll feel, or if somebody from their family is going through it.
No, I feel you, sis. And you know what? I believe in God and also in karma, right? You reap what you sow. And so a lot of these people don't realize that what they are putting out, especially that are affecting all these families, especially those in the Senate seat and the House of Representatives, they're going to reap what they sow. And that's just the law of karma. I mean, it is what it is, right? It's like what you put in the universe is going to come right back to you. If you do good, good's going to come back. But if you do bad, guess what? Bad's going to come back. Law of karma. So it's one of those things where people have to understand that, okay, this is your decision, but just expect that coming back in the long run in a negative way, especially if you're voting no for federal funding, and you're taking away from families that really need the food and the supplies that are offered through the federal government. So, but yes, we've come to the point where it is time for us to say goodbye for now until next week, right? We've had a juicy conversation. It's been wow. We've dropped a lot of nuggets, a lot of food for thoughts, and I really hope that the audience and listeners really understand the importance of voting, especially during the times when you have the opportunity to vote for your senator and for the House of Representatives, who's going to represent the House for your specific state. Your vote matters. More people need to come out, and together we can make that difference. Write, email, call the senators. Your voices need to be heard. I can't do it alone. Cece can't do it alone. Nadine can't do it alone. We need to do it together as a community across the nation. And I know we can do this. We can be that change that we want to see. Okay. And so with that in mind, I'm going to play a few more sponsor videos we have, and we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Sponsored by Collective Wear. Available at www.yessierodriguez.com/shop and myrod-enterprise.com/shop.
Sponsored by Divine Beauty and Accessories. Watch Hoy En Día TV, Thursday, 7:30 p.m.
All right. And so guess what? I am rocking, me and Cece, we're rocking the Collective Wear shirts, custom made for Hoy En Día TV. Hey. So if you want custom made shirts by Collective Wear, your brand, your business, whether it be a birthday party, anniversary, wedding, what have you, etc., reach out to me or go under the MyRod website for your custom made shirts. And there's also other dope gear that you're going to enjoy and love. Also, the holidays are coming, so make sure to get that Nadine's Body Butter. Make sure to get the accessories by Divine Beauty and Accessories. Hey, if somebody needs to find their purpose, get that gift card, right? You have offer a gift card for purchase. Get somebody that Inspire for Purpose gift card. You need to help somebody. So holidays are coming. Thanksgiving is coming. Whether it be a birthday, an anniversary, you can't think of anything, I've given you some options to consider. So, hey, here it is. So now we're going to pivot over to our last minute words before we close out. So who wants to start?
I'll go.
Okay.
So yeah, so as you guys know, my name is Nadine Barton, and you can find me on Instagram at NadiaB_1202. And I really don't even want to say my quote today. I just want to say, please pray for my small island. They've took a beating, and definitely when I find out the legitimate organizations for aid, because even in disasters you have a lot of scammers out there. So when I do find the legit one, then I'll have Yessie posted on her page or whatever the case is, or on our social media. But I'm just saying that just keep all the people in Jamaica and right now Cuba and the Bahamas in prayer, and also Haiti that went through it before us too. So I mean, you see, the smiles are here, but deep down in my heart, I'm really, really hurting because I thank God, none of my family, they got hurt or injured. But as for now, I know that I can't. We have not heard from my aunt in Mandeville, so hopefully she's fine, she's okay. But I know there was like a lot of rain and a lot of things going on there in Mandeville as well. And St. Elizabeth, I have family there as well. But my sister told me that she spoke to some of my cousins and they were okay. So thank God for that. But just keep the people that's going through the storm in your prayers, and that hopefully we pray that they'll come back and they'll build stronger. But as you know, I'm Nadine, and my link and everything is right there under my name. I just don't even have really a lot of words right now because I don't want to start tearing up. But if you want to get my body butters for Christmas, go to Cabzenza, CABZENZAH.com. And if you'd like to book a trip, not to the islands right now, just contact me at Nadine's Travel Oasis, and that's all I have right now.
So, hey, I'm your girl, CM, the Actions with Inspire for Purpose and Girls with Gigs. And so, yes, our hearts are going out to Jamaica. Again, God sits high and he looks low. And so he is going to take care of those people. And we just want to just hope and wish that everyone here under the sound of my voice, right, whether you're watching this now live or watching it somewhere in the future, be kind. Take the time to be a kind human and help someone, right? Even in the face of fear and adversity, make a choice to help someone today, because that's what's going to truly make our world better. So as I always love to say, love and light and inspire for purpose.
Yes, thank you both. We've had another amazing episode. Wow. I always love our juicy conversations. We just drop so much knowledge. We're all so smart. I love it. Yes. And that is why Hoy En Día is your go-to spot to get the real information, because we do research here, okay? We research because we want to make sure that what we're sharing with you is coming from actual factual information that we know, because we're not just going to share BS. That's not what we're here for. We ain't got time for the shenanigans. We want people to stay informed and educated. We are dealing with a serious matter in our country. And what that means is that impacts our lives, our day-to-day. It impacts our families. And that should be important to you, right? And so, like I mentioned earlier, you have the power. You have the power to turn a negative situation into a positive. It's time to get out. It's time to shift your thinking for the better. Like I was sharing earlier with the ladies, the power of manifestation and word, what you say. It's time. Today is, don't put it for tomorrow. Today is the day. So I say that to say, always think positive, do your best. And like Cece was saying, be kind to people. Be kind, because you just don't know what people are dealing with right now. It's just really challenging for a lot of people. We have to come together. We have to be compassionate, show that empathy, show that grace. We're human. Things happen, right? And it's okay. We're going to get through it together, and it's going to be A-okay. Because Hoy En Día is going to make sure that you get through it. Yes, we are here to positively motivate, inspire, enlighten, educate, and entertain you, the viewer and listener, with each and every episode. And like I mentioned earlier, also, the holidays are coming. So make sure, if you ain't got no ideas, you got Nadine's Body Butter, you got Collective Wear that you can consider custom-made shirts from Collective Wear, right? For birthdays, anniversaries. Like, these are the podcast shirts we have. There are going to be coming up for sale soon. So, hey, if you want to give somebody an Hoy En Día shirt, go for that too, right? Whatever you can think of.
So I was just about to say I'm not wearing my shirt today because I went on set earlier, and but those shirts are great quality and the material is so soft. Yes.
Shout out to My Rod Enterprises for that. Woo woo. And what were you gonna say?
That's what my rod. And I wanted to say too, like this business is a family business, and I love it. And so, I mean, I know you can't see it. We'll have to show it maybe yes, on other, but on the tag on the shirt, oh, that tag on the shirt is of a cute little cutie, and I love it. Like how this business is family business, right? How they incorporate everything, and so the little king, right, with this whole production, he's on the tag, y'all. So it's just super sweet. I love it.
Absolutely.
Wait a minute. I wore it a couple times and I missed that. Oh, my bad, Yessie. I'm gonna have to
ma'am. I love that. Yes, I love it. Also, if you like colored contacts, right? I mean, the Halloween is tomorrow already, but let's say if you know somebody that likes colored contacts, likes jewelry, go on to our website, yessierodriguez.com. There's Divine Beauty and Accessories there. You can find different accessories that you can purchase. Like I mentioned earlier, if somebody needs help being inspired, finding their purpose, reach out to Cece with Inspire for Purpose. We have so much going on here, and I love it.
Wait a minute. I'm sorry. You said color contacts. Can my prescription go in there for your color contacts?
Great question. So right now, no, with a prescription, but you could make it trendy where you can put the color contacts on the bottom, right? And then put your glasses on top and make it cute and trendy to change your eye look, right? Hey.
Okay. Wait, listen. I know this. You're about to close out, but when I went to visit my mom, why my left contact split in my eye? I had to get my sister and my brother to use a flashlight trying to get it. Was so painful. I was like, why is my eye so what is going on? My contact split. And I don't know if the box was defective, but it happened like more than once. It happened like 2 times. And they just shipped me out like 3 extra left eye contact. Like I was walking around like I was what's the Captain Hook with one eye with a patch? Like I was walking around with
well, I'm sorry to hear that.
With one contact lens in my eyes for 2 days.
That sounds painful. Like, no. I think you should consider maybe going with a different contact lens distributor
because it was clear, I could feel it, but we couldn't find it for a long time. I was miserable. I think I dumped probably like a whole bottle of like drops into my eyes. Like, let me tell you guys, I'm going to tell them change the color of my contact lens because those clear ones, I could not find those lenses. It was like it split. Half of it was out and then the other half, I don't know where it was. It was somewhere in there. It was so painful.
So strange that happened, though. That is.
It happened twice. So I think the box maybe, and it could be defective. It could be a defective box. So I'm not sure.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Well, I'm glad you're okay from that because anything foreign in your eye is just painful in general, and especially the fact that it split in your eye. Ugh. Girl, I salute you. I would have definitely. It's time to part ways. I mean, hey, I'm not trying to tell you what to do, but just consider, like, hey, let's part ways because you said it happened more than one time, right? You said it happened like 2 or 3 times.
It happened twice while I was there.
Yeah. So if it happens once, I get it. Fluke. Twice, it's like, no, it's time to go bye.
I need to see though, and I don't. If I get glasses, I'll keep losing them. So maybe I need to get the color contacts because at least if it's colored, then I could see it to take it out. If it's clear, that was the problem.
I got you, sis. Well, hey, I'm gonna look into to see if I can get a prescription added to it. Just when you get a chance, just send me your prescription, and I'll see if I can get it added. And if you can, I'll utilize you as my test to see if you can see with it.
I'll be the test dummy.
Well, if they're uncomfortable, you don't have to keep them on, ma'am. You're so silly. You're so funny. I love it. Yes. But yes, so for those who want to find me, know more about Yessie Rodriguez, just go on Google, type Yessie Rodriguez. You'll find my social media handles, pages, what have you. And also my ending quote, the sky is never the limit because the galaxies are endless. So thank you for tuning into another amazing episode of Hoy En Día TV. Hasta pronto. See you next week. Yes.